It's a mailbag on today's show, as the headline says. If you have questions, you can't watch the live shows, that's fine too. My DMs are open on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Feel free to slide in. Just, give me some time to respond since I do have the 2-year-old at home. Super thanks to begin today's show from Marcus Arnold. I think the Cowboys should go with the guy at left tackle, bring in Connor Williams to play center, running back, linebacker, receiver, DT should be the focus of the draft. The big concern for Williams is the medical. You might not know if he could start for you at center, and even if he does, I think you're still one good backup shy there. Another problem, which I think you've named good needs there, Marcus: running back, linebacker, receiver, DT. I have 3 top 140 picks. I can't fill all my needs with that. I'm still getting a mid-day 3 pick to play a key role for me. That's what's concerning to me. From Mighty Ants, why is Mazi slow off the ball? Sign Gillian, I assume you mean Calais Campbell, which I would be down with those 2 players. I'd love it. That's about well over the Cowboys price tag range there. So as for Mazi Smith, you can watch Chris Jenkins as well. That is also slow off the ball. I think it's just the way that Michigan coaches their players. Never scout the helmets specifically, but that schematic stuff is true. That despite those guys being really good athletes, they are late to fire off the ball. You got to kind of coach that out of them. That's why Mazi was a project defensive tackle. From Austin Carey, thanks. Is there a path where the Cowboys try to trade 2 second-round picks to get another first? The board falls weird to get a better player to fill needs, and would you do it? I'm not opposed to it. I actually am very down to, structure things as I don't draft well in the second. I could trade my 2s every year to go get a first-round pick. I don't hate that idea, and if this team is always competitive, like they typically are with a healthy quarterback, that makes sense to me, frankly. Would the Cowboys do it? No. They're so worried about 3 years from now, I don't think they'd go down that path. But I think there is a good idea behind it. Also from Austin Carey, I think the Cowboys don't want to rebuild. They want to see how the year goes before pulling the plug. I don't agree with it. It explains this offseason. I think that's why players might have wanted to sign with us. Big reason why they haven't signed with you is you haven't offered money. Most players want to get paid more than close to the vet minimum to play for your team, unless you're an obvious championship contender or you're kind of a lesser tier free agent. I think what the Cowboys are doing are kind of similar to what you think, Austin. They don't want to sacrifice this year, and they also don't want to sacrifice next year. They don't want to rebuild, and they don't want to be aggressive and potentially cost themselves next year. They're kind of let's see what happens. I also don't think they want to rebuild next year because they don't like being a bad team. They always want to be a good team. Maybe not a great team, but a good team. So if there is a Cowboys plan, what do you think it is? R for rebuild, W for win, or I for I don't know? It's the pinned comment on today's video, so go vote in the comments section if the ad comes here on YouTube. Big TD, the one, has done a new mock draft for Dallas. Put one out on Sunday. You guys can check that out. We'll get pretty close to weekly mock drafts, somewhere in that range, so make sure you're subscribed, notice turned on, and you won't miss out. Dwayne Jackson, would you be shocked if the Cowboys draft a quarterback, let's say Spencer Rattler, in the 5th round? If it's on day 3, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be slightly surprised because the way I think this team views it, I think it's the way we can view it too. They already spent their day 3 draft pick on a quarterback. His name is Trey Lance. They traded that 4th round pick for Lance this year. Now, different contract status is long term, but Trey Lance is the same age, or maybe he's a year older than Spencer Rattler. He's younger than some of the quarterbacks in this year's draft, or at least the same age as Bo Nix and Michael Penix. That's kind of crazy, by the way. So they also didn't with any guys at the combine. I wouldn't be shocked if they signed a UDFA maybe, but I would be surprised if they took anyone before maybe the 7th round. I think they have needs that they want to fill in that 5th round still. Chris B. What he feels like 24 is just a wash year. They ain't trying to get better. Good luck, McCarthy and Dak. I would just resign. They too worried about 25 stupidly. I would agree. I hate this plan of like not making a decision. You have enough information on Mike and Dak. Extend them or dump them. Whatever that looks like, you kind of want to be bad anyway for a year to get that high pick to go take a new quarterback or give Trey Lance a shot, which you might not do next year. He's a free agent too. I despise their plan of attack so far. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. 2 to 6 player stat projections, and then you watch those winnings roll in. I always advise the flex play. Got to get 2 out of 3 right, 3 out of 4 right, 4 out of 5 right. You can still get one wrong and come out on top, and it saved my bacon in the NFL regular season this year. You can do esports, you can do NBA, you can do March Madness right now, you can do baseball. They have added some, not all, but some season-long player projections. So I love the more thans on the season-long ones because they kind of already built in the injury risk, so it's lower than what they've done if they're healthy. So more than Patrick Mahomes passing yards, more than Dak Prescott passing yards. That defense might not be great. Might got to throw it a lot this year. More than CeeDee Lamb touchdowns. Micah Parsons will get the 13 sacks. I'm convinced of it this year. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Make your own picks. First deposit match up to $100 when you use code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Ian Dixon, would you take Jalen Smith on a vet minimum deal? First off, this is what I get for being the mean troll and retweeting old signings as news. I did Jalen Smith on one of them. I'm over with that. It's done. I'm not going to do it anymore. The bid has run its course. No, I would not. He's not good. Yeah, I think you can sign a fifth-round draft pick, and he'll be better than Jalen is right now. I have no desire to bring back Jalen Smith. Elmatic7 is awesome. We're working with Duke Manyweather. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. I'm pretty sure he's working somewhere. I just don't know with whom. A lot of the Cowboys guys do. I don't think he was working with Duke pre-draft. I got to go back and double-check that, but I think the answer is no. Chris B, we start like 2-4. This dumb front office will fire Mike McCarthy. I don't think they will. Jerry's cheap. He doesn't want to be paying coaches to not coach for them right now. When was last time a team ever had back-to-back head coaches on contract years? Basically unheard of. Hector, would you bring in Odell Beckham? Build the way in. Probably not. There's a path where it makes sense. That path being cheap, 1-year deal, and let him be your receiver 3 if he promises to be a good sport and not complain about stuff. I think the Cowboys brought him in, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, 2 seasons ago, to be like, hey, can he help us out down the stretch? And the answer was medical red flags. He also doesn't want to play in the regular season. And everyone was like, that's not, no. Like, I don't think that meeting went well, frankly. Now, he got way more than I thought he would last offseason, and the Cowboys are not going to pay him $15 million. So I suspect the answer is he's going to get more money and maybe more guaranteed playing time elsewhere. So would you sign Odell Beckham? OBJ for yes or no BJ for no? Protect the Sun 1. Tom, it hurts. This offseason fell right into their laps. Talented linebackers in free agency. Deep O-line help in the draft with an easier pick, possibly a receiver, could have fixed quite a bit. I agree. You could have signed Zach Moss for $4 million per year. You could have drafted and then freed yourself up to take a running back or not, and then add a receiver in the draft and add linebackers and try. The DT market didn't go their way, but they could have gotten involved. They didn't even touch the Trayvon Diggs contract, which blows my mind as to why they didn't want to do that. It's very strange to me. I agree. This could have been a good offseason for Dallas, and they were like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. From C1, trade back round 1, gain an additional third, take Zach Frazier, Trey Benson, Justin Aboyesby, Cooper Beebe / Christian Mahogany, put Tyler at left tackle, yes or no? I don't hate it, actually. That's West Virginia center Zach Frazier. He's a dog. You guys will love him. He got that dog in him a lot. Trey Benson in the second. He's my number one back, so probably be about the right value. I think it's right to take him. Might be a touch high for me on Justin Boyd, but let's say he's that other third-round pick. I think in terms of like actual sleeper for Alabama, kind of him. Had a really good year for the Crimson Tide. No one's really talking about him. I do like him, kind of late day 2, early day 3. I love Cooper Beebe, and I like Christian Mahogany, so if I can get one of those guys to be my starting left guard, I'm fine with that plan. I'm filling some of my bigger needs. I can try to get a linebacker on day 3 as well. I would be on board with that draft class. Now, we will have a ton of Cowboys NFL draft coverage for you right here on the channel, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now. Chris B, no, Tom. JJ said the running will be better because of scheme. Look, it might be a little bit, but you also need the personnel to help stop the run, and so far your moves are lose 2 of your top 3 rotation defensive tackle pieces and 2 of your top edges. You ain't better right now up front, and that scares me. Larry R, is Mazi Smith the new Taco Charlton? I don't think so. I think it's way too early to be out on Mazi Smith. Those are very different players, by the way. Hell, even Mazi and Tristan Hill are very different players along that defensive line. I suspect, and this is all suspicion, this is not sourced information or whatever, or reporting, so don't clip it. No clipping this. I suspect that Mazi is a young guy, and he just kind of struggled with the noise and the expectations in year 1. Tristan Hill, the concerns were, hey, his coaching staff didn't like him. They gave negative reviews. That kind of became true in Dallas as well. So I as frustrating as it is, we need patience with Mazi Smith. The issue is the honeymoon period ended very quickly for Mazi Smith. You need to see growth this year, or it's going to be very, very concerning. David, what draft pick would you hate for the Cowboys? Ooh. I don't think you can go that wrong at 24. I think there should be a very good player for you on the board. Like running back in round 1, I would hate because there's nobody worth it. Like I like Benson, I like Brooks, I like Wright. Those guys are not round 1 picks for me. Honestly, what I would hate is they clearly reach to fill a need. If there is a nightmare run on tackles and they're all gone, and they go, we got to reach for somebody. And they make it very obvious it was reach, kind of like Schoonmaker last year. Like, they reached for Schoonmaker because they felt they needed a tight end. If they reach for a tackle in round 1 that's just like, they were all gone, it was a bad scenario, and they panic pick one, I will be upset. A lot of answers you guys can go with here. Who do you not want the Cowboys to draft this year? Sound off in the comment section right now. Ishmael Farouk, I think I pronounced that correctly. I'm still mad the Eagles, Commanders, and Giants got everybody. Let's see what happens. Buzz Commanders might go G.J. McCarthy at 2. Maybe they're still a poverty franchise after all. Who knows? Elmatic 7, is Ronald Jones an option as a veteran back? Technically, yes, but also no. It is always very telling, and it's happened several times now to players the Cowboys sign for free agency, when player gets cut by the Cowboys and nobody signs him. Nobody. I think Ronald Jones might as well be done because no one picked him up when the Cowboys cut him. Not an option. Last one from Luke Zach. Tom, will the Cowboys do Super Bowl in your lifetime? I am 31 years old. In theory, like what, 40, 50 years maybe? I don't know. I don't take care of my body as well as I should. So maybe it's on the lower end there. But, yes, I will be a very miserable 60-year-old if I'm going, back in my day, the Cowboys won a title when I was 3. Like, I'll be miserable even more than I am now. So they had better win a title in my lifetime, or I'm going to be in shambles.